This turbo, oh la la. It is like a living, breathing animal. Hello and welcome to Driver Reviews. I'm Vicki Butler-Henderson and today we are looking at a mountain goat of a car that has been sprinkled with some modified magic. It is a Twisted Suzuki Jimny. Affectionately called TJ, it is much smaller than the usual 4x4s tweaked by the Yorkshire-based company in the UK and therefore has a relatively smaller price, just under £60,000. Before you settle down and watch our review, please press subscribe and the bell icon so that you're ready each time we post something new. Suzuki only sells the Jimny in the UK as a two-seater commercial vehicle and not very many at that, just 400 a year. To tell us more about this particular car is Twisted's UK Head of Sales and Operations, Rob McDougall. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Vicky, all right?
Yes, thank you. First of all, can you kindly tell us a little bit about what Twisted does?
Yeah, of course. So we started out about 24 years ago, mainly in performance enhancements to Land Rover Defender. Massive market, and as we developed, customers asked us to do a little bit more. Could you fit some seats, some soundproofing and the like? And in very, very recent times, we've kind of moved from that. We still have that as the core of our operation, but into these amazing little TJs. Yeah,
so why did you pick the Jimny?
It's a very good question and one we get asked very often, but when you actually dig beneath the surface, there are so many similarities between this and Defender. The key one being that they're absolutely flawed in so many ways. And that's where we come in. People who maybe ordinarily couldn't live with them, we can just take it to that level where it becomes a really fun, usable vehicle that everyone in the family will enjoy grabbing the keys for and going out and using.
And who are you selling these to?
So it's a really broad spectrum of people. We have an absolutely fantastic chap who has a place in the Yorkshire Dales. He has one down in Devon. He actually has one at both properties because it suits the little lanes. It suits darting around. You can use it, you can park it easily in the shopping, but also anybody who's got, you know, younger sons, daughters, 17, 18, 19-year-old that maybe can't get insured on some of our other products. These just make a fantastic alternative and geez, they put a smile on your face from minute one.
I know, even just looking at it, it's so dinky. I feel like I just put it under my arm, just scoop it and take it away.
I know.
Can you talk us through the modifications starting at the nose?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting with the front of the vehicle, it's a little bit about the aesthetic. You'll imagine with Suzuki Jimny, they're very much built to a budget. There's a lot of grey plastics going on there, some quite cheap materials. So we want to improve the aesthetic effectively. So we've given it our stage 1 front end conversion. Lovely colour coded front grille on there, but also has our signature mesh. Again, a nice little nod tying it across to the Defender as well. Moving on from there, we've given it our wonderful 16-inch alloy, nice BFGoodrich all-terrain tyre on there. And then we've enhanced it underneath our suspension system on there. They don't have a rear anti-roll bar as standard. So we've developed a system for the rear of it to help improve the handling. It knows what it wants to do around a corner. You don't know usually whether it wants to tip over or not. And particularly as we've enhanced the engine and the performance on there as well. So from there, on the outside, a little bit more colour coding with rear hinges and such like. And then moving inside, we've soundproofed, we've recarpeted, we've trimmed up with some beautiful lashings of leather, installed a media system in there, 7-channel premium audio system, and again, some little soft touch details to some of the scratchy black plastics, just giving it that slightly elevated position from the standard vehicle.
Now, let's go round to the back because lovely chunky tyre.
Absolutely, gives it some presence.
And then in here, you've got some lovely leather detailing.
Yeah, exactly. So this one, relatively simple in terms of its usability. So it is that commercial element, nice big load space in there. We have soundproofed in behind some of the plastic trim panels that are in there, kept it nice and usable. You've just got that little nod with that beautiful leather contrast stitch detailing in there as well. And you just see the rearmost of those seats in there.
So Rob, you've got 800 litres or so of space to play with here. What kind of stuff can you fit in the back?
Yeah, so I mean, the sky's the limit really with this. You have got such a wonderful square shape to utilise. So whether that is hospitality suite, whether that is your lunchbox in the side that your dog can't access, literally we can go as far as you want with it.
What's the funkiest thing you've been asked to put in?
Oh, goodness me, probably that lunchbox that the dog couldn't get into. We built it into the sides, made sure it stayed upright. It was dog proof. The same customer, we made the most amazing Persian rugs to go in the front footwells on there as well. So yeah, incredible, but we can just do as much or as little as people want on there. It really is about them.
DriverReviews partners with many of the largest tyre retailers in the world, bringing you thousands of verified and unbiased customer tyre reviews. Our independent reviews cover over 70 different tyre brands across all price ranges and feature leading brands including Goodyear, Dunlop, Michelin, Continental, Hankook and many more. So when you're searching for new tyres, look out for the DriverReviews logo to give you peace of mind that the reviews come from real customers just like you. To discover your local DriverReviews partner website and to find out the winning tyres of this year's Customer Choice Awards, visit driverreviews.com. Instead of 15-inch steel wheels, Twisted has given the Jimny 16-inch alloys. These are wrapped in beefy BFGoodrich all-terrain KO2 tyres. They don't just boost all-terrain performance, but they also give the Jimny a chunky, more rugged look that's hard to ignore. Impressively, these tyres are rated 4.5 out of 5 stars by hundreds of drivers on DriverReviews. Well, you can't ignore the leather in here with your eyes or with your nose. But what do you expect from a company that's got its own leather customisation department? So the seats have been retrimmed, as has the handbrake, the gear levers, the steering wheel, and it's all been done to improve soundproofing, to make the place less drafty and generally more appealing. The original car did come with things like air conditioning, electric front windows and central locking, but this particular model has been enhanced with Apple CarPlay, a sat-nav and reversing camera, amongst other things. The seating position isn't the most welcoming if you are much bigger than me. I'm 5'5.5" and I've got plenty of space, but to give even more room, the bulkhead has been removed, and that is a panel which sits just behind the seats. And that means that you can now push the seat back and even recline. You sit comparatively high in this car, which is in keeping with 4x4 dynamics, although there isn't a huge amount of variety for your seating position. The steering wheel itself, it will move up and down, but it won't move in or out. So you are forced to move your seat to fit your particular height and driving style. My knee hits the steering column in my position, but you know what, that's just part of this car's charm and character. The rest of the car feels so snug and compact around you. It's 3.6 metres long and 1.6 metres wide, which is the size really of a city super mini, but they are wonderfully small numbers for this fabulously small engine to move around. But of course, there's a twist. Under the bonnet is the car's original 1.5 litre engine, but this one's been turbocharged. Power is up from 100 horsepower to 165 horsepower. 0 to 62 happens in 7 seconds, or thereabouts, says the company, and top speed is 110, roughly. But you don't need to be going at that sort of speed to have fun. This turbo, oh la la, it is like a living, breathing animal. Listen to it talk to you. That's the wastegate actuator that is just going, hello, I'm here, let's have some fun. Oh, I love it. It's quite addictive. It's cheeky, it's fun, it's utterly charming. Other additions to the engine include a performance air filter, which help with that extra power to make sure nothing slips and slides as the power goes down onto the road. That doesn't mean that the clutch pedal is heavy. It is heavier than normal, but you don't need Popeye muscles to push the pedal down at all. The 5-speed gearbox is standard, and it's got one of the nicest, tightest throws to any gearbox that I have driven in a long time, let alone a 4x4. It is perhaps one of the tightest mechanical components in this car. The brakes are also standard and they do a perfectly adequate job, but if you want them modified, of course you can have them modified. The steering has been tweaked to cope with those bigger tyres, and at best you could call the steering feel light, which isn't a bad thing. You could also very much describe it as vague, which is a bad thing. I see a corner ahead, I turn the wheel, I wait, oh, the tyres respond and then they turn. Other than that, I have got no sensation whatsoever through the steering as to what is going on underneath. None. I said earlier that this was a mountain goat of a car, and it really is, because it will get you into and out of places that some 4x4s, well, just can't. It's also got a ground clearance that is superior to some SUVs, 210 millimeters, fact fans, and also it is a super light 1100 kilograms or just over, and that is the weight of 8 good-sized billy goats. I know, full of facts me. You're welcome. This has a twisted handling package which includes custom-made shock absorbers and a rear anti-roll bar conversion, which helps it from feeling like it's going to roll over in the bends, which is jolly useful considering it is actually taller than a Range Rover Evoque. It feels like a proper off-roader on these lovely green lanes, albeit one that's shrunk in the wash. But it's got proper 4x4 statistics as well, and it can hold its head up high against Land Rovers when it comes to approach angles getting up a steep hill and descent angles going down them. Plus it's got that wheel at each corner design, which means it can literally skip over most things that you put in front of it. It is full of character and joy and simplicity. It is an analog delight, even when you're in four-wheel drive, low four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive on the tarmac. The Suzuki Jimny isn't the fastest or the best car ever, but it has always been one of the most delightful things on four wheels, and that has just been magnified by the magic of Twisted. Thank you so much for watching Driver Reviews today. Please let us know your thoughts about the car in the comments section below, and please press subscribe and the bell icon so that you are notified each time we post something new.